All right, welcome back for part 3 of the Dragon's Maze video reviews.
Yep.
So we're still in the multicolored, a lot of multicolored to go.
Pretty much in multicolor for the rest of the videos.
Yep, with a little snippet of artifacts and lands at the end.
Very little snippet.
So, first card up today is Dragon Shift.
Roar.
Cool artwork, cool enough that they made a playmat out of it.
Fusro Da.
It makes dragons.
It does make dragons. It makes your dudes into dragons. Which is pretty cool.
I don't see it outside of Limited. It's an absolute bomb in Limited.
In Limited, it's fantastic. Outside of Limited, it's way too expensive.
Yeah.
Making something a 4/4 for 3 is cool, but
yeah, or you can just play Lux and Smiter, who's always a 4/4.
if you're in those colors,
Yeah.
I think it's just funny that like we have something called Dragon Shift, and like Sarkhan Vol like always wanted to be a dragon, but he had nothing to do with blue whatsoever.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, maybe he needs a. I'll send in an application.
He needs to change colors.
Yeah.
So next up we have Drown in Filth. Possible addition to Reanimator?
I'm gonna say no on that one.
Yeah, it's close. I think if it was another instant speed one, it would be interesting.
I think it has hope in Limited.
It's okay in Limited too, especially
It's still narrow
at
there,
its
though.
best in Golgari.
Yeah, it's still narrow, pretty narrow there. Like,
Yeah, because it's not a guaranteed hit,
yeah,
and you're always going to try to target like smaller stuff because it's still only going to do like 2 to 3.
right. Like, if you have like a Grizzly Salvagard in your deck, that makes this card a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's still like most of the time going to be removal for something.
Yep.
So it's like very decent, I guess.
Seems decent in like the Reanimator mirrors when you're trying to kill like the Deathray Shamans. Because you're like gaining value and killing the Deathray Shaman.
Yeah, yeah.
Seems good there.
Hopefully you don't have to like remove a land to cast it with your Deathray Shaman.
Right.
Yeah.
Next up, possibly one of the worst rares in the set. James' favorite.
I hate this card.
Yeah, this card's
So
almost
much.
too bad. It's just so bad. Like you don't. It's not even limited playable almost. Like it's just. It's like.
A 5-mana 5/7 limited's like, alright, sure. But it's 7 mana!
Yeah.
And like it does one thing, and like one thing that's like kinda like meh.
And
to
it's,
begin
and
with.
it's legendary.
And it's legendary.
Legendary is supposed to be more powerful wizards. I don't know if you know that.
This card is so underpowered, so weak, so narrow.
Like, could you just give us maybe like a token generation on it? Like pay 2 mana, make a fucking elf or something? Like
dude, if it had like 1 mana populate. Like
yeah. Oh wow, now awesome. Now good.
now like that's almost playable in some kind of strategy
Yeah,
somewhere. But like just like this, it's like
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Lame.
Yep.
Next.
Very lame.
Uh,
Total opposite.
So better.
Yeah.
But still not playable compared to the other stuff that these colors have right now.
See, the thing is, this one's not playable because it has better alternatives.
Right, yeah, you're competing with Hellrider and Falcon Wrath Aristocrat.
Right.
Which are both better.
But come October,
Now, she's good.
she's good.
Yeah.
That Amara doesn't have that issue.
No.
She's just never going to be good. And
Yeah.
we're actually going to have less tokens in October, so she gets worse.
Right.
But yeah, she's pretty sweet.
She has a cool additional thing of like all your Unleashed guys you play after also have haste.
Right.
Which
Yeah.
is relevant.
Yeah, it is relevant. She's first strike, 4/4, so that's also like relevant. She attacks really, really well.
Yep.
And it doesn't really block very well because she's going to have Unleashed
No.
anyway. Has haste herself, but like I mean, as of right now, Hellrider does way more damage when he comes into play, and Aristocrat has way more evasion. Like I mean,
Yeah,
you could make
plus harder to kill.
You could make the argument that this has like pseudo evasion because it's got first strike, so it's not going to die that often. But at the same time, you're not getting damage through. Like evasion on Aristocrat's awesome because it's getting the damage through and being evasive. And it has the upside of living through Supreme Verdict, whereas Ixava doesn't.
Although, to note, you could always sacrifice your Ixava to Falcon Wrath Aristocrat to pump him up.
It's a human.
Don't do that. Next up, Far and Away.
Uh,
One of the better split cards.
Second best split card.
Second best so far.
Yeah.
So we got an Unsummon
A 2-mana unsummon and a 3-mana
Diabolic Edict.
Diabolic Edict.
Yeah.
The 3-mana Diabolic Edict I'm way more excited about, but you still have Tribute to Hunger.
Yes.
So it's a little outclassed there, and the unsummon
And
is
Devour Flesh too.
and Devour Flesh. Yeah, but like I mean, they gain life from Devour. I'm just trying to like be like as exact as I can.
Yeah.
Like, and 2-mana unsummon. So like, The fact that you can have like 2 cards, like you might have a deck that plays Unsummon and Devour Flesh, but the situation where you can like Unsummon and Devour Flesh the guy that you want to kill, like the Geisting Trap isn't going to come up that often. But this one card like brings that whole scenario right to the forefront. So like that's where the utility of this card comes in. That's why this card has potential. But outside of that, I'd rather just play the cheaper variants.
Right. So we had a Feral Animist.
Almost Chameleon Colossus.
Oh, not even close.
Not even close.
Not even
Doesn't he have trample?
Chameleon Colossus? No, he was pro black.
Yeah.
4 mana,
4/4. Yeah,
4 mana ability, doubles power.
Doubles. Well, this guy like doubles power, but not toughness.
Yeah, but it's 3 mana.
It's 3 mana, but it's 3 colorless.
3 colorless. So this guy, I think he's definitely playable in limited.
Yeah.
Definitely not in constructed. I think the dream for this guy is like Blood Rush him and X him. Like, seems insane.
Yeah.
Like Blood Rush him for 2.
Still so much mana
4.
though. Like,
well, yeah, but
all these like aggressive guilds have such high cost cards.
Yeah, I think they saw some of these interactions that could happen when they were designing Dragon's Maze, and they maybe went a little too cautious.
Maybe, yeah. But I mean, like the high costs are fine and limited, but like totally bring it out of the realm of playability and like constructed. It's just too expensive.
Yeah, I think they're like this set in particular feels like there's only like a handful of cards that are going to be really.
I would really look forward to like a really high powered set where like most of the cards are almost constructed like viable. So you just have like tons of decks everywhere, like just bleh.
Yeah.
That'd be really interesting.
Living the dream.
Yep.
Flesh and Blood.
Flesh is awful.
Flesh is pretty bad. It's like a 5 mana.
It's 5 mana scavenge anything that you want. Like a deck that wants something with scavenge, like you're gonna have scavenge guys.
Yeah.
So like
Blood on the other hand, though.
Blood is a much better fling.
Yeah.
And fling is like almost okay.
Yep. No, fling is solid.
Like, the worst part about fling is that you have to sack a dude. So like, what if they counter it or something?
Yeah.
And then like you just like lost a dude and you're fling. This you don't have to sack a dude.
No.
It just straight up does damage to the power.
Wolf Run is perfectly in those colors.
Oh yeah.
So
like I think Blood is maybe playable.
I agree. Like,
and the fact that it's creature or player.
It seems pretty sweet. Yeah,
it's creature player. Yeah, you can like
the fact that you shoot face, like attack with your Thragtusk, like pump it for 2, save up 2 mana, then shoot your face. Like that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, the 2 mana that you put into Blood is way more than the 2 mana you would have put into the Wolf Run.
Right.
So it's like, I'll do 8 for 2.
Yeah, sounds good. You did.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Flex Charger, I really like in limited. Giant blocker for the aggressive strategies, and then you play something sweet and then just kill them.
Yeah, a good guy that can change his gears, goes from defense to offense.
Very well.
Has evasion.
This guy's really strong and is it, which is funny. It's very weird. There's that.
Gaze of Granite.
I like it.
Yeah, one of my other top cards. I don't know if it's quite good enough. I think it gets better after rotation. The obvious comparison is Pernicious Deed. It's not nearly as good as Pernicious Deed, but the main difference would being with like Pernicious Deed gave you pseudo instant speed because you could play your enchantment, just let it sit there and then blow it up on your opponent's turn when ready.
Yeah, this is like a turn too slow to be like standard playable, and like to make something like this because it's the same cost as Sphinx Revelation.
Yeah.
So to make something like Sphinx Revelation, play lots of like early removal or like some kind of disruption to live to the point where you can cast Sphinx Revelation. So like you'd want to do something the same with Gaze of Granite, but if you're playing early removal and all that stuff, that's fine. But by the time you can cast your Gaze of Granite, you've like killed everything. Yeah,
and it's fighting for like this seems like it should be in Jund. Like that's the deck I tried it in. It didn't really work out good in that matchup, but I do think it's decent in Jund because Farseek, Arbor Elf, they both give you some acceleration, so you can get ahead of that.
It is good with acceleration.
Which I think solves some of that problem. And I think it's like exceptional in certain matchups. Like it seems pretty good in like the Humans matchup where all their guys are pretty low casting cost.
Right.
So you kill their first couple to survive.
Now you Blitz matchup.
Yeah, and then you get to 4 to 5 mana.
Gaze for 2.
Gaze for 1 or 2, and you can, pretty much wrath them.
Wrath them, yeah.
I mean, it does get countered by Frontline Matic, so that's relevant, but I don't know, I think it's close. It's definitely close.
I mean, it doesn't really get that How do I fill my medic? Oh yeah, because it's X there.
Yeah.
Um,
Line's non-ability that doesn't come up very often, but don't forget about it, people.
I think this is a solid one of, and I think people should be trying it out as a solid one of because it's a good catch-all too.
It is. I mean, it kills anything you need to.
But if you're playing something like this, I'd move away from a key rune-oriented list, just so you don't blow yourself out.
Right. Give and take.
Pretty cool. Sweet and limited. Like I like the +3+1 +1 counters way more than the draw cards in limited. Like kill them, but at the same aspect, you also just like draw a bunch of cards.
Yeah, I mean it's 100% at home in the Simic guild, especially the +1/+1 counters on some of the best Simic cards like the Simic Manipulator, the Simic guild leader there, the one that draws cards.
Yeah.
Like.
Oh, and isn't
it break those open?
The Renegade Crisis it works like that, right? Because it's whenever it gets a +1/+1 counter.
It might be whenever it evolves, but
I don't know. It's one of those. Like, I just like said the card and forgot.
Oh. I'm gonna check. I'm interested in that.
Yeah. Whenever evolves. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So like, don't get that sweet interaction.
No.
Can't have everything.
No. Good try though. Good try.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Theme of battle.
I mean, really strong effect, but man, is this like totally the wrong casting cost for this guild? Like, we're in Boros. The whole guild is like 1, 2, 3 mana casting cost guys.
Mm-hmm.
Then wait to turn 6 to play your awesome enchantment.
And hopefully you guys are still alive, or hope your opponent's still alive, so you can actually use your enchantment.
I don't know.
Alright, are you dead yet? Can I like put pulse guys or anything kind of?
Now
you're extra dead.
Yeah, it's just too frustrating. Like, especially when you compare it to the Gruul enchantment, which we'll see in a second. Like, costs 2 less.
It does way more.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you're giving a guild that is all big guys, which are later in the mana cost guild, a cheaper enchantment. I don't know, it just seems like they flipped it and like didn't realize it or something. Like it was,
I don't know.
Unfortunate.
Not crazy about it.
I mean, I still think it's playable and limited.
Glad it's not a rare.
It's a decent top end to a deck, but especially with Dragon's Maze, because Dragon's Maze definitely seems like it's slowed down the format a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it becomes a little better there, but it's just bad design in my opinion. Like, I don't know, it's frustrating.
Well, I mean, it's almost like it was intentional design. I just don't know what they intended.
They intended you to go like, oh, this is awesome in my Boros deck. Oh, wait, I can't play it.
But some people still think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Goblin Test Pilot.
Woo! Random.
Test failed.
Cards that do things at random, usually pretty poor. Except, like, Hydrotoric, because that's a different kind of random.
Oh, yeah,
Don't get me wrong.
That's a non-symmetrical randomization. This is a symmetrical randomization.
I hope I hit you.
Yeah. Oh, I hit myself.
I hope I kill that creature.
Awesome. So, yeah, don't play this card. Bad. Unless you're in, like, a casual form where you can play Kronk's Thumb and just change your... Oh, no, that's the one.
So, like I don't even understand it. Like, does 2 damage to target creature or player chosen at random?
Yeah.
Out of, like, all potential targets?
All potential targets. Yeah. So you have to, like, assign everybody a number and then, roll or something and determine that.
Someone's going to play this freaking card, and it's going to be really obnoxious.
Oh, but you know what's going to happen? Those people that do play this card, it's going to be fantastic, and there's going to be able to, like, shock everything they want.
Oh, you wanted to do 2 to me all 5 times in a row, and you did.
No problem.
Right, thanks.
Get that.
Random is random. Next up,
hey,
War Chant.
Here's that enchantment we were talking about. So 4 mana, all you guys get +1/+0, and they can't be blocked. Yeah, like, what? Like, if this was in Boros colors, now I'd be like fist pumping. Like, play that, boom, you're dead.
Right. Yeah, this card killed me at the pre-release a couple times.
It's really tough to deal with.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Put this in your limited decks. 4 mana might be asking too much in constructed.
Yep.
But it's a bomb in limited. Yep. Play this.
Yeah, it's clearly a nod to the Goblin War Chant, right? From back in the day. Remember that card from, I think it was Fallen Empires?
Sure.
Almost the same exact effect. I gotta look up the mana cost, but I think it was 1 cheaper, actually.
This is good at multiples, too, because, like, just another +1,
Yeah.
Because, like, it doesn't, the second blade doesn't stack in any way.
No.
Like, 2 or more.
It's just state-based.
Yeah, it's just the same thing, so it doesn't do anything. But, it's still fine in multiples.
So, awesome card.
Very good.
Hunter of the Night Vale.
You like this guy.
I do think he's decent. I'm not like in love with him, but I generally like anything that weakens my opponent's creatures.
Yeah, I think he's okay. I think he's playable and limited. But it's just like another one of those like, weird Dimir cards where it's like not really a Dimir card.
No, yeah, I would take this in like my Azorius deck.
Right, like you've got tons of like mill cards or like weird interaction mill cards or like weird cipher cards, and then like a dude that like
no evasion,
shrinks their guy, has no evasion, like
yeah. I mean, my favorite thing about this kind of card is like if you have any kind of Mera-based creatures, like if you're the same creature, all of a sudden yours is better than theirs, and I love that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't come up all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think he deserves a slot in your deck if you can play him and he's in your curve and all that. I'm not like windmill slamming him or anything. But
yeah. But he's playable if you're in the colors.
Yeah. Yeah, like same mana cost now. We're on the Jellin
Sphinx.
I
like the artwork.
Yeah, it's cool. Nice colors.
I have no idea where are those buildings.
Yeah, sitting on top of the gold,
Right.
gold building in the middle of Ravnica.
Almost looks like it's like a desert kind of.
I would say like the weird thing is like okay, artwork versus actual card. There's a disconnect because this is sitting on top of the building in Ravnica.
Yeah.
This thing is really huge, and it's a 1/5.
It's a 1/5.
It's like,
yeah. I'd like to see like a Spiria next to it. Like Spiria's probably enormous.
Yeah, it should be bigger. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like same mana cost as the guy we were talking about just a minute ago, but now we have like vigilance, flying, and then the additional like pseudo anthem thing.
Yeah,
as well.
This card's very good if you
does a lot more.
Doing the whole blue-white flyers thing.
It's awesome.
It's very awesome.
So he like has vigilance, so he blocks exceptionally well.
Yeah. Unfortunately, no standard applications. It's just too small.
Nope.
Like,
no, 5 mana too. Like,
yeah, the deck that wants to be attacking like with this dude at a top end just doesn't exist.
Yeah. So yet another 5 mana creature.
There should be a cycle of these, huh?
Yeah, it seems close.
Yeah.
So another good blocker with the death touch.
Yep.
So pretty much kills everything. With an ability that isn't very relevant.
I mean, like you scavengers do, then you get some counters, extra counters.
Yeah, but it's like a lot of mana to do that. So like, you got to pay 6 mana to do -3/-3.
It's pretty late game. So like you never really the -1's not going to kill anyone. So you got to like stack it up, and then you're like paying 6 mana. But at the same time, it's like removal that you don't have to draw. It is like
no, it's definitely like on board removal.
Yeah, I'd like to see this in a Simic deck, honestly, because you're gonna have way more +1/+1/+1 counters floating around, and you
they're a lot more free flowing. And like,
yeah,
because you can take it off a guy.
And then put it right back on because it's got to evolve.
Exactly.
Yeah. They're scavenging once. And
Scavenge is kind of like one and done.
One and done.
Crassus Incubation, speaking of a Simic card, so which kind of gives you some nice interaction with the Gorgon, because it gives you free counters. So it's like an enchantment that is like a face, what's that word?
Arrest?
Like an arrest, yeah, exactly. That wasn't the one I was looking for. I was looking for the one that you gain life when it comes in.
Face Fetters.
Face Fetters, thank you. So it's a pacifism plus also taking out activated abilities. For 4 mana, which is expensive, especially multicolored.
It's very expensive.
But it has this additional thing where you can kind of start slapping on your own guys and bouncing it.
Making them bigger.
And make it bigger.
That's cool. I mean, it's very flavorful.
So I honestly think this card is very good in Simic. It gives you a solid piece of removal. Something to do late game, which is really powerful, where you can play this and return it in the same turn.
Yeah, that interaction I like. But I feel like you just gotta get there to the late game, and there's never a situation earlier than that where I want to put on one of my dudes and not attack with them, unless it's like an 0/1 that I don't plan on evolving anytime soon.
No, I could just see this as like kind of maybe like a stalled board state. All right, I'm gonna break that stall by boosting up one of my guys.
Right. Yeah. It is a good stall breaker. Next up, we have Lavinia of the 10th, the Azorius Guild champion.
She's fine.
Pretty cool.
She hates red.
She really, really hates red. But like I said to Adam, the situation where we're gonna play this is like gonna be funny because it's like a one-sided board wipe almost. Because if you do play this, you detain all the guys and you like buy yourself a turn.
Yeah.
And the next turn you like do what?
Attack for 4, I guess.
Attack for 4, and then they just kill you. Because now you have no blockers, or they leave her back and they just swing, and like 3 out of the 4 guys they have goes through and you still die.
Yeah.
Or then you Supreme Verdict and kill your Lavinia, or you Verdict then play your Lavinia, and there's nothing there to like make the Detain even useful.
Yeah. She's a 5-mana 4/4 at that point.
Yeah, and then like it's really weird interactions, and it's really not a mono red hoser because like either you're gonna be dead by the time you play this, or it's gonna buy them one turn for them to like maybe draw into the Wrath, and then they Wrath their own Lavinia, and you just keep playing dudes again.
Yeah.
You know, it's tough. It's a tough place to put this card. But the Detain is really really sweet. You're gonna run into that whole like Wrath Lavinia weird, not really blocking you issue.
Maybe her home is for like more of a like a blue-white aggro deck.
I guess.
You know, like she's the top end, and she's like kind of the Alpha Strike ability. Like
yeah,
she like, the other side,
for like
get in there.
Other aggro matches.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, sure.
I don't know.
5 minutes asking a lot.
Kind of like the blue-white humans deck we had before.
Yeah,
You know, like,
I mean, I don't know. 5's kind of a lot of mana.
Yeah. Next up, a card James and I are pretty much in agreement with is like, it's fine. It's not this card that everybody has it on. Like it's this crazy amazing card. Like to me, you just play Boros Charm. Like why are we even talking about this? But
I mean, it is a sweet anthem, but like hopefully you want to be like +1/+0 on most of your dudes, like because the +0/+1 is really not like what you want to be doing in this kind of a strategy where you want to play something like Legion's Initiative. And I do like the fact where you can just like play like a bunch of dudes and then like give them all haste with like by exiling your initiative.
Yeah.
But like it's a lot of mana. Like that's not really going to come up that often. Like your dudes will already have haste anyway. You can't save them from a board wipe, right?
Yeah.
You need next combat. Yeah, which is pretty sweet. That's the best use for it.
Yeah, that's why you play it. That's why I say play Boros Charm. You just give all your guys an instructor.
Right. And Boros Charm is the effect of going to the face.
Yeah.
Or double strike. Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like I can play a uncommon, which kind of does the same thing, or I can play my mythic enchantment.
One's cheaper than the other.
Let's see which one I want to play.
Yeah. I'm interested to see if this card actually shows up in anyone's deck, but I think it's going to be, oh, this card's awesome! And we play with it, and it's like, eh.
Yeah, they see that it's not as good.
Really like a dude.
Like, I don't see it even played like in Modern. Like, it's not good enough there either.
No, they have like Honor the Pure and stuff like that.
Yeah, you get all way better anthems there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep.
James's boy.
This card is fantastic. Wow. So can you believe somebody on YouTube told me that they don't like this card in multiples? And I should play it as like a 2 of.
I like this card, but I'm not as high on this card as you are.
Oh my god. Like, this card's awesome.
I think you maybe had like a too good experience with it in our playtest.
I killed you with it once.
You did. You knocked from 20 to dead in one hit.
Right.
No doubt.
Yeah,
but
and it's like an excellent blocker.
Yeah, no, he blocks awesome. No doubt about that. Like, he kills everything. The one thing I would say against that is, like, he dies to Tragic Slip just by, like, not even turned on Tragic Slip. Just, like, take out his power, because then he's an 0/3, and then he dies.
What? How does he die?
Because you Tragic Slip him.
Yeah.
He becomes a 0/3.
Right.
He doesn't have any power to do damage, so Death Touch no longer works.
Okay, yeah, and then I just block him.
And then he dies. Yeah.
Yeah. Things die to removal, man. Like,
it
happens.
I know, but you're paying 5 mana to do this. Like,
I think this guy is fantastic. Like,
I think he's
an excellent
he's
finisher.
very good. I'm not sure what his home is. I think it's in some kind of deck where you were working towards.
After our playtesting session with him, the only issue I had with him is it was slow or too slow.
Yeah.
Like getting him out a turn
You
earlier,
had
or
said maybe some kind of
cheaper.
like Farseek deck or Mana Guy, or
Yeah.
something to get him down a turn earlier.
something to play him a little faster is the next thing I want to try with him.
Yep.
But I think this card is very good. I think it has lots of potential, and like I'll be really impressed if this does not like see play somewhere in something. Like the fact that you can just instantly kill your opponent.
Yeah, it's huge.
Is enormous. Like, and and it's like not like the only thing it does. It blocks very well, and it like attacks very very well.
Yeah.
Because it's like lose your dude or die.
Yeah.
They're gonna pick one of those. And
I do like that they gave it that like can only attack alone clause.
Right. That's why I like it in multiples. Is like I only attack with one to kill you. So if I have multiples, it's like well the rest of them are just going to be like a brick wall.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not like well do I either like stay defensive or try to go on the offensive? Where if you have like 2 of them, you're like I'm gonna do both.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's just
I do like his interaction with Ral though because like you can attack with him and then just untap him.
Yeah, I mean I like to think of it this way. Would you play a 19-4 for 1 mana?
Oh, of course. Yeah. I know
Okay then. 19-4 for 1 mana. That has first strike and death touch. Come on.
Yeah. We're not talking about a 19-4 for a 5 mana.
No, but that's like. Would you play that?
Yeah, that's definitely an argument. That's definitely an argument.
Yeah. Anyway, next up.
So our last card for this section is Maw of the Obsidat.
Really creepy artwork. Really creepy.
You really like this artwork, but I just don't like it. I feel like the composition's weak. I think they could have made if they had switched the camera around and got lower. And,
I just like the picture. I like the idea of what's going on.
I like the concept of the piece of art.
But it could have been done in a way more awesome, interesting, cool way for sure. Yeah.
I could see you looking down the conveyor belt through all the bodies as they're falling into the mouth. That would have been really creepy. Super awesome.
Yeah.
But it would have been a tough piece to pull off.
Yeah.
But
as for the card itself,
not so good.
It's fine and limited just because it's a 3/3 for 5. That sometimes you can kill them with,
Yeah, you can go attack with everybody. The one they don't block, you just go all in on.
Yeah, it's all creatures get plus on this one.
Right.
That you control. Yeah.
Yeah,
and then but in constructed, Cartel Aristocrat's way better.
Yeah, we're talking Cartel and Falconwrath now. They're two awesome sack outlets.
Way better sack outlets. Cartel Aristocrat's going to do way more damage than this guy will do.
Yeah.
Because just from getting in there with pro whatever color you want to give her.
Yep.
So yeah.
Cool flavor, but not so
very awesome
cool
flavor.
applications.
What's this flavor text? To it, hoping for skew from their death. Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back with part 4.
Yeah, part 4.
That's it.
Bye-bye.